Today I want to talk about one of the best secrets that most people don't know about inside of the real estate market. See, right now in the market, it's not necessarily bad. It's actually really good for those who actually can find deals and get control of them, put them up for sale. Hey, it's easy money right now because it's not a lot of properties listed. And this is a nationwide problem. For instance, in our market, we have 5 counties that cover the triad, and there's over 3.3 million people in those 5 counties. On the MLS right now for those 5 counties is only 2,400 properties listed up for sale by realtors. And so 2,400 can't really feed a population of an area of 3 million. So what this does is the good old supply and demand curve, okay? That forces people to have to pay more, okay? And it forces the sellers to just kind of wait around until somebody can actually pay those prices. But there is like a few niche kind of strategies that you can do right now in order to get property with no money, very little interest, okay? And then also be able to afford to keep these because the monthly payments on them are so low. And so today in this video, I want to share this particular strategy that I'm doing right now. I have a closing that I'm closing today or tomorrow. This attorney keeps delaying, he gets on my nerves. But I'm doing this very same thing right now, and I'm going to make bank by holding this property as a rental with none of my own cash or credit. Let's talk about it. What's up, guys? It's your boy Sawan Belcher. This is me taking action right here on YouTube. I'm a real estate investor. We make real profit using real estate, whether that's buying and selling, buying and holding, fixing and flipping, Airbnb, short-term rentals, and group homes. I love all things real estate. My goal on this channel is to share what I know, not just what I know, but also share my experiences as I go through them, so that way you can learn how to replace your 9-to-5 income with real estate profits. Okay, so in one of these week's closings, I'm actually buying a property where the seller is willing to not get any money at closing. She doesn't want none, zero. She simply wants me to take over the debt and be responsible for her monthly payments. So essentially what we have to do is come in and catch up her mortgage payments. Now, the coolest thing about this particular, deal is I don't have to bring in my own loan. A traditional loan would typically require that I be at my job for 2 years. I manage a satisfactory level of credit. I bring some kind of down payment, maybe 3.5%, 5%, or 10% down, and then I would go through this process of underwriting with the bank. In this particular case, we can actually close after an agreement in just 14 days, and sometimes less, but in this particular case, 14 days. Now, the downside is I still do have to bring some money to the table. So she's about, I wanna say she's $10,000 behind, and then we have to pay our closing attorney $1,500 for the closing, and then we have to pay him $750 to create a trust. Now, the good news is this house she just purchased last year. A builder had actually, a rehabber had actually rehabbed the house and fixed it up right before they sold it to her. So the house is in really good shape. So it really doesn't need a lot of work, but she did have some dogs and that kind of thing. So we are planning to put a few $1,000s into it. So when you really look at the grand scheme of things, it looks like I need about $25,000. This loan that I'm taking over is at 5.5, at a local bank. Now, 5.5 is way better than what I'm getting as a real estate investor, okay? It's also 1 year into the amortization schedule. So if you don't know, why this is beneficial, interest controls the monthly payment drastically, okay? A 5.5% interest rate on $170,000 is right around $1,100. If you change that interest rate up 1% to 6%, it goes up to $1,300. If you change it up 1% above that, so it goes up 2%, then it changed that payment to $1,500. Okay, you can be borrowing the same amount of money and the interest rate be 2 points higher, and you're spending $400 or $500 more every single month. Okay, and think about $400. It may not seem a lot for 1 month, but you think about $400 over a 30-year period. Okay, that's a lot of money. Okay, so these subject to deals, these deals where you're taking over the mortgages, are great because owner-occupied loans 100% of the time gets better interest rates than an investor loan. Secondly, you're coming in when the amortization schedule, has already been paid off. Whenever you're buying a mortgage and the mortgage company is charging you interest, inside of every payment is principal and interest. Some of your payment goes towards principal, paying off the house. Other portions goes towards interest, just paying the bank, profit. The first 5 years, or even just the first year, you're paying more interest than you are principal. In the second year, it's the same way. Third, fourth, fifth year, and every year that interest starts to change a little bit. Okay, so when you get to year 10, you're finally paying more principal than interest. Okay, so it's important that you get in on these deals by taking over the mortgage, because you're going to end up paying these houses off faster because you're coming in the middle of the loan term. Hope that makes sense. But because we're able to get better interest rates, and because we're able to come in and have the faster debt pay down, these make for great rental properties. Okay, now how do we come up with that money? Now in this particular case, I'm able to do it with no money because I'm selling my position, right? I'm selling ownership in this property, so I won't be 100% owner. I'm bringing in a partner that will be my partner and bring the funds that we need, and we're actually going to rent this property out for $1,700. Now once again, our rent is $1,100. Our mortgage is $1,100. The rent that we've gotten someone to agree to before we've ever even closed on it is $1,700. So that makes a monthly spread. Now, not just rental properties, these properties can be great also for fix and flips, or doing Airbnb property, or doing Airbnb rental properties on. So I actually love these because they end up being nicer, prettier homes. Because in this particular example, she just bought it a year ago, or in the last one I bought before this in Reedsville is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home with a basement. They're just nicer houses that you end up buying, other than your cash properties end up being in the hood and they're small, 800 square feet, maybe 2-bedroom, 1-bath, that kind of thing. So you end up buying really nice homes like this. Now, on top of this is like, on top of just buying with no money or buying with great interest or having multiple exit strategies, I love this particular strategy because you can buy as many as possible. So, let's think about this. If we really wanted to replace our 9-to-5 income, let's say you make $4,000 a month and you wanted to replace your 9-to-5 income with real estate profits, it is very easy to do it in a short amount of time with this particular strategy. With traditional loans, they limit you. Personal wise, you can only get one of these mortgages every year. And then you cap out at 10 personal mortgages. Subject to, there's no cap on how many of these you can have. So technically, if you wanted to buy 3, 4, 5, 10 of these in 1 month, 30 in 3 months, you absolutely could. So we're talking about going from, struggle to freedom in months, struggle to freedom in a year, whatever you desire with that. And you literally can back that down with math. So in this particular case with this property here, if our mortgage is $1,100 and we're creating $1,700 of income, that means that we're making $600. How many properties do we need to buy, where we're taking over a mortgage so we can replace that $4,000 income? Well, in this case, I'm just doing quick math here, but it seems like we're going to need about 7 properties. So that way we can, replace our income. So I have a closing this week. I had one last week and I had 2 the previous week. So, essentially, we probably can do this thing in 3 to 6 months if you really wanted to. So this is just my video to encourage you to learn this strategy right now in today's markets. In today's markets, our problem are high prices, and high interest rate, and then harder financing terms with the banks with low inventory. The solution is coming up with creative means for sellers who want to sell, by picking up mortgages that are already in place for a fixed amount of time with low interest, with the lowest payments ever, with the best inventory that's available in the market, because these were owner occupied homes, but now we're going to turn those into investment properties. And so there's more than just one way to fund these things. There's actually 4 different ways. So I'm going to encourage you to click the link down below. If you guys want to actually get the detailed subject to taking over mortgage training, we actually just did a class, and I'd love to share that with you guys in the links below, so that way you can go out and take control of your financial success using real estate. Be good, y'all. See you in the next one.